Ready.
All right, so good day, night, morning. I don't know what it is in your time, but welcome again to Chute Nation podcast. You know, myself, Il King, Dunks, Ella, Ras, and Suna. So, I mean, do you guys have anybody to pick up today?
Still, girl them Corgo, big up yourself.
Yeah, new shirt people. We just have more than one. We just have them coming. So just, make sure you make your orders them through Chute Nation with Instagram page and them something.
Yeah, and look out for Chute Nation dumpling them in stores soon. Is it?
Yeah. Recipe. We have it locked. Remember
And believe at the truth. Them bad.
All right, so today we're going to talk about rent and landlords.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who wants to start this topic.
Can't start it, man. So normally Jamaicans have really horrible stories. Not just horrible, but good, both good and bad stories as it come on to renting and different landlords and stuff like that. Especially well, when I was at UWI, passed through several landlords in a car, them did really ridiculous. I feel like they need to have a board that regulates renting and landlords.
Them name real estate board.
They have one?
No, I mean regulate in a way where you get references. So that's one thing I think they should implement. So everybody who is a renter, you need to have your profile up, pictures of what's there,
and
then you have people that I can call that you rented to and check on whether or not you're going to be a pain in my butt.
Or you can have them, you can rate them too. So stars, so you leave that 5-star.
I'm gonna tell you why that tough. It's a good idea, but one of the reasons why that rough is because if you once you earn, you need to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the landlord them no want pay no tax.
They don't want to
them no want register nothing. If you realize a lot of landlords we tell you say cash.
Yeah.
Not even want to give them account to say send me that money there. Cash them say, you see me? Or them give a little pop out receipt thing and say here's your receipt. Because a lot of them don't want to do nothing registered because that's what means so them have to pay tax. Because most landlords have to pay tax because them already earn above the threshold, you see me?
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna make it really, really rough. But a good idea.
But you have one whole heap of landlord, brother. You meet them the first time and trust me.
Nice.
Nicest people you could ever meet, and them have them terms and conditions and we'll do this for you, and when you're paying off, worry about that and whatever. First month everything good. Second month you start see the flags in there. You start showing, you see cracks in the whole thing. You see by month 3 onwards, like everything changed. And that is something I think completely unacceptable as it relates to renting and stuff like that. That should not be the case. You see me?
Yeah.
For me, I think that in Kingston, especially for students and people in that area there, that little area where everything is happening, the landlords do take advantage of the people because especially for students where you have to, a lot of the places is just, you need somewhere to live. It's a need, right? So you're basically desperate then, and they know that. Because if you don't rent from them, you probably have to go too far out or go into a community that you don't want to go into. So they know you need them. And then they take advantage of that. They put in a one little cardboard box and the wall a strip and there's a leak when the rain fall. But then I tell you that when you come in, And then when the first rain fall, you tell them say it's a leak, they're frightened. Like it leaks spring overnight. But and I think that as Sanjay was saying, if we have some kind of system at least, especially if it's even for people who are interested in renting to students, because when you leave your home and you're so young and you're so whatever, you need to make sure that you're going into an environment that is safe first of all, and that people are not going to try to take advantage of you. Because if you scroll through Twitter and see some of the stories that these UWI students have to be going through, it's crazy. Like they need some kind of regulation, and they need some kind of pricing
Yeah.
Regulation too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not fair for you to be paying so much for that space, and it's just because they know that you need it why they hike up the price like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you compare, let's say Montego Bay or you could come because we are in different places in
yeah,
Jamaica.
man,
Yeah.
never take it on you, man.
Yeah, man. Right now, you pay for a room, a bathroom. You know what I mean? The amenities are not a lot, and you rack up on 30,000-40,000 dollars. When you like, me know people right now they pay like 14,000 bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. Them have their own things.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
space. You not get them space. They're told you know, like man,
You can get it, man, but you have to go like Riverton.
Exactly.
I'm gonna cross from Golden Side or something, you see. Yeah, man.
Yo,
Yep.
like yo,
Or
to
up
me,
that hill.
to me,
Yo.
my biggest problem is so I'm go Kingston. Like me see people different. Like me just see everybody at church rip off people. Like I'm go Kingston, like I say, yo, every man you go to them and ask my prices, like immediately them I think, boy, how much we can get this from this money? I know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
them not give an honest price. Like I don't know if me get honesty in our package at Kingston. Like everybody, no matter what you do, them just a look for make a money off of you. Like immediate as them see you. I don't know if them can look for me and say, no, so feel like a country them boy they come from.
A city,
Yeah.
you know, a city like
You know, the
You see
thing,
me?
a big drawback with renters at Kingston and landlords, not a lot of things them not really secure, especially water.
Mm-hmm.
Water security one of my main challenge. That's one of my big flaws with Kingston. That's the only thing would I say.
bro, we hardly have water now.
Well, you with them soon go down still. So
Yeah, most places now get water some days right
Yeah.
now.
so I feel that a lot of them can do better with the water situation.
Yep.
Put some plans in place and them thing them man. God town known
I
for
mean, if
that.
you have to ask the town landlord them too, why on water bill over there like 20 grand?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a bid and you come tell me say yo water bill come in with the and a 25 and you don't want to show me. And when you show me, all me I see a brought forward.
There's some old bill them I try to get you for clear out.
So they pay your water for you?
Yeah, that's
No,
when them
man.
include water. Some of them include water and the rent.
Yeah.
But some of them is like a split.
You know.
No, but you see one them up. You see the one them include water in your rent too.
Yeah.
Them always a complaint say you use a whole heap of water and
Yeah.
regardless of if at one time you paid for it day or
Then we shut you off on it, you know.
Yeah, and then soon I make a good point too. That should be a part of the regulation. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a rent, you have to at least have one tank.
One tank or something. Yeah.
Something have to depend your house to store water.
And I don't think it's hard to do because when you look at places like Cayman, you have to have certain things to be able to rent the house. Like you have to meet a certain standard. And I think, you know, implementing something like that, especially even if you're not going to do it in a country, especially in a place like that where people are obviously trying to rip off people, they need to put in some kind of regulation. And another thing too that I don't like with landlords is if I know them or have to see them. So I'm not living anywhere where the landlord lives
I would advise against that
or
as well.
comes to, because right now I don't know what my landlord look like. I can walk past her on the road and she walk past me. I don't even know her voice.
Yeah.
I know her bank account number. And that's all I need to know.
But you know, you see my landlord still, I have to kind of give him some props because, you know, I think probably because he was a student once and him just go into it and them just start provide to students. Him kind of understand how students think and certain things that they need. So like, people always accused about water, like, we don't really have water shortage, like him have about 4 tank.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the water pressure always good. You have pump and them thing there. So I mean, like even more while them look on all the rent, I say, Jaja. But then we think about all of the things and what secure.
The comfort.
Yeah, and even where I live is in our area we're probably not that you call it now. Now I call it ghetto still, but it close. So
Yeah.
I mean, but when I'm in my home or house, it's secure. You see me, you feel safe. I mean, when I have the well, him live close, like very close, like in front of the yard. But he's a man where if you call him 3 o'clock in the morning and say, yo, the internet now work, you will see man come over there 3 o'clock in the morning. He's a man where you can rely upon. You get me? I try to say, and he very, like, you know, see them people irregular. Like, you know, see them
No,
you get me? I try to say. But probably because also, me think him do it more, alright, so like how you have the regulated bodies or whatever, him probably a part of something where him have to pay taxes. So might as well him just do the right thing, because they get trying to say him already have to they pay money for this, that, and stuff. But you know, me know about the other people them still know where you come at the house and all of the upgrades that you need, you probably have to pay for it yourself. Like you say, no man, but this they have mesh pan the window there. Mosquito come in and kill it. You get me? And try to say you have to buy it and put it up. So
and then too, you see, like your landlord, that's how you're describing him. You have some of them that the ones with a good reputation tend to keep it that way. So them treat more like a business, them treat more long term, them treat more for ensure that people continue to pass through and you recommend, because at the end of the business, and it is very lucrative as a business as well. So
definitely
makes sense. You just do it good and done. And then the same thing when we are talking about water too. Yo, and I need tank, brother. Landlord them want watch this and I need tank, especially if you're in Kingston, because there are some students when I left school till night, and you have certain times during the year where they cut off the water or the water lock off till morning. So what you expect to happen now? You see me? So
and also what's the thought about that? Like, as a student, brother, how you use, like, they're not supposed to have no problem with like students and water, because students normally they're at school. So I mean, the water now, and like you rent some people would have 3, 4, 5 picnic come home, and them just use water, or one mother was stay home and did the whole day, wash clothes, wash plate, cook this, that. When it comes to water, a student more likely to use less water than everybody else.
Yeah.
The only thing I probably use water when I wash. That's me.
In terms of what Sanjay was saying about some of them treating it like a business, I feel like those people tend to attract a different type of residents as well, because we have to also include the fact that some rent are really, really disgusting, but some landlords really got treated.
That's true.
People who when they collect the rent, you know, they reinvest it into the property, they give you the proper upgrade, stuff like that. I think they keep their renters at a certain type of people, and they attract a certain type of people. So I think that's part of the reason why they do it.
And one of the things too, you know, is that like my landlord, or me have to give her props for, is that communication, you see me? Because me now see certain things. You see, if electricity will cut off in the area, she send me that the advisor there from JP send out something. Right away, me get that on my email and everything.
Good.
If water go cut off, me get that on my email. She make me know, say, yo, the pressure go low because it come from the tank. Because water gone, you see me, it will go away for this amount of time. All of them something. They sorry for inconvenience, and I don't fear for all that. So me like that. Me like the whole communication thing with them. Well, because I try to say I know all of them bad, but me like the whole communication.
Yeah, man. You have some method. And you still have a situation where, like, because as much as me explain how my landlord stay, you have people on my block who are just, like, we have some ladies there just miserable, you see me? Like, as the internet, I saw this, like, man, go fix the internet for a long time, and this, and I'm like, yo, I mean,
some people can't please, bro.
Yeah, some people can't please. I get my chance. I have the worst things to stay. You say, but you have people on my block where they were students, and them obviously like the settings because them are work now once and them not left. You get my chance.
Yeah, can work out for them. Can you have enough place to have certain things included, like utilities included and little things like that. So.
But I tell the students them still, you know. You see, when I found a time to left out at them little place there and go look on a little place in a Kingston.
Go look at 50 grand place.
Them asking us some questions. One of the time I looking at the classifiers, I look on place to rent and it me call the woman and the woman, first thing the woman asks me is if me have a girlfriend. Me I try to understand how that end up with that.
Right, because you ever care for your girlfriend, brother, and run up her like
the woman asks me if me a Christian.
No, she doesn't know why you turn the place into a brothel.
If me a Christian, me I turn the place in a club. Or if me I carrying too much curry goat, me don't know what. The woman asked me
she
some.
literally said that. She said she doesn't want anybody to turn the place into a brothel.
Basically.
That turned it with you, man. Yeah,
basically that. But it's crazy, man. It's
but
crazy.
one of my best renting experiences was when I lived at tavern, and I actually lived in the same house with the people. Like they basically live upstairs, and I live in a room, so we share the same veranda and everything. And it was great. Like we had such a good relationship. They were good land people because it's a whole family of them, and even the father, like the renter's name was Dwayne. His father would call him grandfather, like the baby. Is in the room, you know, stuff like that. Like it was if me feel sick, they can call Simone to make some tea for me and stuff like that. So, but it's because they were, you know, good renters. Like they
some people are not even the renters. Some people are just good people, and some people just bad.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Some people
can have good relationships with people. Yeah. You can have good relationships. It's just, you know, you're paying for a service, and they need to understand that if they provide it, everything will go smoothly.
Everything will alright. But one thing I have to address to is the whole rent in Kingston, because I'm not defend it, none at all, because some people really exorbitant. But what I have to try to make people understand is that once you're in a town area, a city area, it genuinely higher than if you're in a rural or whatever setting, even overseas. Because even if you're like Canada, if you're renting a Toronto, it is crazy. Whereas
but not because it is doesn't mean that it should be.
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's just seems to be how town centers set up. They just believe that you earn more once you're in a city, so they charge more.
Spend more.
But that's what we're trying to change, because it shouldn't be that case. It should not be just charging people this crazy amount of money when, you know.
Them literally just charge you crazy amount.
Yeah, because sometimes I like supply and demand as well.
Yeah, because there's the money they
fall into that.
That them I do.
That's what they're doing, and that is akin to price gouging. Or that's the word, right? Gouging, yeah?
Yeah, but then I'm the regulator.
What they're doing.
Yeah, then I'm the regulation. And what me would have said is, okay, if this is your price, because sometimes I ask some people to pay 50 grand a month and a place not up to scratch, like, yo, get the thing them up to scratch, make you say, all right, like, see. Even though it's still a burn in my pocket, I can look in there and say, all right, yo, me have a comfortable space, paying $50,000 or whatever, you see me?
Another aspect you have to look at, you know, like in Kingston, the pricing attract the type of renters you're gonna get. So, for instance, if they go back, if them drop them prices, we attract a type of person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
That's
true.
Them are weed out people.
Them are used to weed out people.
Me think, because I work for people have some really ridiculous prices, daddy. But like, does this place value? You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is like, you see where we live, brother? We're glad where we live, you know. You know what I mean? Enough people sit there and be like, yo, dog, so much you up here and whatever. But man, say, yo, well, when I'm there, I'm fine. Like, we don't really need to leave. You know, like comfort, man. They get me, I try to say.
Yeah.
I mean, other persons, and then you have this relationship with the landlord and certain things where you need. And is a man where if you did it and you need to go nowhere, and we personally care go there. Like, if you you say, oh, you know, me I go back and maybe and get a nuts food. Man, so what time you left? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the man I call you. You don't call him, I call you. All right,
yeah.
You know where the point. You see me? So, I mean, you look on them things and say, yo, you're comfortable. You get me? I try to say, yo, have some other places, now, brother. Like, when they see 50,000 after the rent, seeing and then you go there and so you probably said there it is furnished or whatever. You see, 50,000 are furnished. You're going there, so on one bed, like you share the bed 2 times, like you hear beer nice. I say, yo, like you can't understand.
Call name man, Mona.
And you know, yeah, that up now you enough still.
That up now more enough, bro.
You have whole people sure they hardly sleep. at the yard. And in a library or something, stay more while. Cause
Yeah.
going home to the rent house and you don't really feel that comfortable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one advice would I have for like students where probably looking into renting or is on campus and then I go transition into renting. You wanna start look from now. Start ask the commuter them from now.
Yeah.
In situation, ask and start look because sometimes what happens is it is such a rush to find a place that you just take the first one you get. And then when you take the first one you get, trust me, you end up in a some problem, brother. It's on people.
Since you mentioned that, what advice, like what for a checklist of things for, let's say, students or even persons who you're moving out of your parents' yard, seeing, and you don't rent somewhere. Like, what are the things that you should look for when moving into your own space? And by saying that,
first thing you look for is a Sunday cleaner. Make sure you have your Sunday cleaner. Make sure you keep on looking at your classifieds. Because this is how you're going to know if you get robbed. Because you're going to see all of the prices, them the various things like a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, so on and so forth. And you're going to need to be, why if you're not mobile, it's rough.
Yeah.
You have to go visit these places.
Yeah. And then the thing, so you look for first thing, you can go in a house, take a nice walk through, look on the different places, but like if you notice any bottles, a lot of bottles in the house, you don't know, say, you might have water problem. Let me say, you look out for that, you look out for any signs of like insect droplets or nothing, little thing like that. You can check like the roof and them look at the
check your wall, bro.
Ask
some of them wall there in the
wall what happened. Because you have some of them yard they were really flooded. They can't even walk in a yard when rainfall.
Yeah.
Right. And you have one bunch of things you have to ask someone.
You can look for your parking spot too, because even though you might not drive, you start work on certain things and you finally reach there. So because you might look and say, boy, I'm just rent for 1 year. I'll 5 years ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look for your
neighbors. You make sure you set your boundaries from early, so you have a key to my place, but you're not allowed inside without my permission, stuff like that. So set your boundaries from early. Have that conversation. What kind of relationship do you expect us to have? How involved are you planning to be in my living situation? Things like that. So you get that kind of thing out of the way.
Right, and you ask him a lot of scenarios too. So you ask him like, yo, suppose me have somebody who need to come over for XYZ time. What do I need to do? Do I need to inform you, or I want free for all thing or whatever? You can ask you questions like that as well for kind of get an idea of what to do and what not to do. And then, trust your spirit too. Because some of them people, based on how some of the landlords, they can really tell how patient they are by just how they answer these questions that you're asking. So, ask them the question, if you see them get irritated or whatever, it's a really good sign to tell you what kind of person you'll be when you have problem.
Yeah.
Really.
And take pictures when you move in. Take pictures, like especially if you rent somewhere that is furnished, you take your pictures of, if you have a scratch, take the picture. Email it to yourself and keep it, because trust me, them are going to say, I use scratch it. All if you can find a scratch, you scratch it.
And you deposit
so, especially if the place is furnished, you make sure that you document the condition that you found the furniture in.
And you are inventory everything, every furniture in there. And and next point, you might find it cheaper, like communal settings, like share kitchen, share bathroom. Sometimes don't fall for it all the time. It's not gonna work out sometimes. Yes, it might be cheaper, but
you want people
difference. Get a little freedom on your own space. Sometimes it might work out better. And as
in Kingston too, transportation is another issue. Like when you just come out of school, you may not be driving and so on. So you want to rent places where they're near certain bus stops, or you want to know, say, one bus I go carry you go right there, so, or one taxi I go carry you go where you need to go, rather than you have to take 3-4 taxi. You get what I mean? If you have to take 3-4 taxi, just make sure you say the rent low.
And then the next thing to us, as you said that with the transportation, like safety, because as a student or even a working person, you end up going home sometime at night too. So you want to know, say, you know, if I come off here, so I not have to walk go way down yonder, lighting on the street, little stuff like that. So you can ask around about the community as well, because like even a place like Mona is a dangerous place, you know, even middle day, brother.
Especially if you care.
Yeah. So those are some of the things. It definitely have other things you can check for, but those are some of the things that you have an interest you check for, isn't it?
But I think that we should have there needs to be some kind of regulation. As Sanjay was saying, they need to create a board. We need to do that for a lot of industries.
Yeah, man.
For taximen, we need to start with that too. But, you know, the avoidance of taxing in our country anymore, because it's leaving a lot of gaps for people to, you know, do all sorts of foolishness. So we need it regulated. That's 100% what I think will solve the problem. Regulation.
And it don't have to be a government entity that does it either. Somebody can just start on site, really and truly, you know. And you say, all right, I'm renting at XYZ place, and this is some recommendation and whatever.
Them have some in Kingston because of the student-driven renting and them something and professionals, but not that popular. Them not really get the funding for sustain it.
Right.
Yeah. Because as I said, it back to like something we talked about in our previous episode where I say some Jamaicans kind of cheap still. So though I would have put up the site, a man might not want to pay me for doing little searches and so on. So I'm going to try and get a little sponsorship from some sponsors who want to put up some ads. And that might rough, you see me? So, yeah.
But yo,
I think the housing situation in Jamaica is like at a boiling point. We're in kind of crisis now. Because even outside of renting, like to buy a house, stuff like that, a little matches back them with myself for 20 million.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
But there are some of them agency here when
no.
Well, if an agency there way, I not understand why you have so much agency and you know have nothing like regulatory like that, because you have National Land Agency, you have NHT, you have next one Housing Association of Jamaica. You have to say them can't split off 1-2 units and do something with it.
Yeah.
Like regulations for the renting and them.
True.
Yeah, and this has been a constant crime. I'm sure some people hear this cry all the time as it relates to renting and the experience and whatever. But I guess, I don't know, them just not care about that.
No choice.
Yeah, because I guess the lawmakers, their children don't rent certain places anyway.
And they are
maybe our landlords.
Yes. They maybe are landlords, so.
Council them own enough house, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And apartments.
One of the questions I'm really want to ask, like, yo, where is the best place to rent? We're not having the best renting experience so far.
Tavern.
So it's Tavern.
Well,
I didn't rent a place at Mona when never too bad either.
This actually is my best renting experience so far, actually. I'll change that answer. This one.
How you their country? That's unfair.
Alright, one of the best town place.
I did rent a place at Duane Park and never bad at all. The only problem I did have is that I'm good all year round except summer because the heat.
Yo.
The heat is terrible, but apart from that, everything else is alright.
Well, my escapement, because I'm there still, so I don't really have reason to leave right now, so you know.
I didn't rent a place at Mona whenever 3, but was problem with the place that it ventilation really. So here never did that.
That's a lot of the Kingston houses. The Kingston house is this tall.
Yeah, and it's a box. Concrete.
Yeah, ventilation really kill we and
the window them set the wrong way, no breeze now.
Nothing now come in.
Yeah.
No breeze. Hot here, 3 fan, everything, man. Also.
I guess I can add that to the list of things. Look for some windows. Not just one.
But you're not find that. Yo, take that off my list. Nah,
you're not find that.
Anyway, we win there, you pay too much money.
One nice place to rent still, you know, I tell the people them up this side is like a Spanish town, you get prices and rent about that side. But one thing with Spanish town is that like once you reach Spanish town, you feel like you lose, or like you feel like somebody robbing. I'm not telling them like
you know
people. I just feel like say, like once me touch me just feel for my wallet. I say, wow.
Yeah, you feel paranoid.
Place just look grimy.
You know, well, because heat is always a thing still. Cause I mean, I go Portmore, and you know, me see studios at Portmore rent out like people have spent like that $20,000. I know me I tell you, say, big space, me I say, but
yes, yeah.
Hot.
If you can deal with the heat, man, you're good at Portmore.
A mosquito, brother. Oh,
A mosquito.
Me don't know. But me tell, Portmore far, you know. Probably that's why the rent is so cheap. You know what I mean? If far from Kingston.
I guess if you go back to Kingston and
a good little drive and
traffic, enough people go over Portmore too.
Yeah, you're stuck on in toll at evening time.
Yeah,
so probably
if you can brave it up still, I better live in better than Kingston, man.
Yeah.
But with the highway still, yeah, people are rent as far as Linstead and Senton, you know.
Yeah, man, Old Harbour too.
Yeah, man, Old Harbour.
But them have some good little scheme, you see me?
Yeah.
The people rent, they just take the toll and so on and come.
So then I spend all of their life at transport.
Yes, basically.
What's wrong with you?
Basically, I that them do for real.
They are trouble people in the same.
Boy, they love the highway, man. That man, I just don't know.
Yo, big up the people that travel to work.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, man.
The thing, them, you see me? And you guys can give us some suggestions as it relates to
renting.
You know, renting and tell us your landlord experience and tell us some of the stuff that you guys look out for while renting or before renting. You see me?
Yeah, man.
Bye.
Man, one more.
Bye.
Oh, you said bye already. But as Sash was saying, thank you guys for watching and tell us, you know, your suggestions and stuff like that. And we're going to leave the link to the other episodes in the description below. All right?
All right.